For the first time in almost 2 decades, the San Diego Padres have defeated and swept their older brother, the LA Dodgers, and Padre fans, they're feeling themselves. What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We're going to go ahead and break down the rest of that game in just a second, but if you're brand new to the channel, we do this every single day, so don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, as well as use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek if you're going to any baseball games anytime soon. The All-Star game is pretty expensive, as well as the Home Run Derby, so save yourself some money. We're going to talk about Trevor Bauer versus his daddy. I am not calling him that. Trevor Bauer has literally said that Manny Machado owns him, hence Daddy Machado. We have the game of the year in Philadelphia, and then also Francisco Lindor. He's looking better and better every single game. Now, before we talk about the games and the highlights from yesterday, I want to show the All-Star jerseys because they were just released, and it's kind of 50-50. A lot of people like them, a lot of people don't like them. To be honest with you, the way that jersey renderings work is that they look a whole lot better in person when a player is actually wearing them, so probably it's going to look better on the field. I don't think that they're that bad. At least they're trying something different, because usually All-Star jerseys, they all kind of look the same. Now, because I forgot to show the Jays versus the Marlins yesterday, my cat stepped on my keyboard, which erased that part of my script. I looked at it, I was like, something's missing, but I couldn't figure it out, so blame Grady for that. I want to talk about the Jays first and foremost because they are on a 4-game winning streak. Teoscar Hernandez drives in an RBI on this double, and then George Springer, who was back in that lineup, he drives in a run on this RBI ground out, and then Bo Bichette, after Marcus Semien doubled, he drives him in, and Robbie Ray was fantastic. Robbie Ray has been really good ever since he joined Toronto. He only allows 1 earned run in 6 innings, and the bullpen for Toronto was really good. 3 shutout innings, only allowing 1 base hit, so the Jays, they come away with a 3-1 victory. But I do want to shout out Starling Marte, who has a 326 batting average, 11 stolen bases, and an almost 170 OPS plus. If the Marlins do end up trading him to whatever team they trade him to, they're going to get a haul in return. He's playing phenomenally. The Rays are on a 7-game losing streak, and they are facing the mighty Red Sox, so let's see if they can come away with a W. You have Xander Bogaerts driving in a run on this double. I keep wanting to say Michael Franco because I only write Franco in my script, but Wander Franco, he takes a walk, and then Austin Meadows goes yard on this 2-run shot, and then Mike Zunino, he has a 195 batting average, but on this home run, he now has 15 bombs and an almost 130 OPS plus. He has been amazing. That's why I tell you guys not to just solely look at batting average. That's what Stephen A. Smith and the ESPN guys do. If you're hitting 195, but you have 15 home runs and a 130 OPS plus, you're actually an above average hitter, whether or not you want to believe it. You have Wander Franco showing off the speed, and then Rich Hill only allows 1 earned run on 5 strikeouts in 5 innings. Then you have Brandon Lau. He has been a machine over the last 126 games. Combined, he has 28 home runs and a 126 OPS plus in his last 126. He's been really good. Another AL East matchup I want to talk about, the Yankees versus the Royals. Well, I guess the Royals aren't in the AL East, but you guys know what I'm saying. The Yankees, they come away with a W, even though it was in dramatic fashion. Ryan O'Hearn gives the Royals a quick lead on this 2-run home run, but then it was tied up on a 2-run double from Clint Frazier. Celos against lefties, he's always been really good, so even though Zach Britton is nasty, I think advantage will always go to Celos in a lefty-righty matchup. Rougned Odor has been bad, but he has been clutch for the Yankees, so he gives them a lead, and then Aroldis Chapman blows it. Ever since MLB stopped allowing players to use that sticky substance, his RPM has dropped and his ERA has skyrocketed. So I don't know if he was using that sticky stuff, but it looks like he did from all the metrics. Gary Sanchez is now up to 12 home runs as he ties it up and a 130 OPS plus. He has been a machine. Whether you want to say Gary is good or not, he has been very good to begin 2021. And then Luke Voigt, in his 2nd game back from injury, he walks it off. So the Yankees, after the Red Sox lose, are now 4.5 games back of first place. Good for them. Can I just say right now that the Astros, they look like World Series favorites? Yesterday, they win their 10th game in a row, and they now have a plus 135 run differential. Now, again, they were playing the Orioles, so take this with a grain of salt. But Correa drives in 2 RBIs on a double, and then 2 more came on a few singles before Jose Altuve, are you guys ready for this? Hit home run number 17, and on top of that, he's on a 17-game hitting streak. He is playing like an MVP. Facts don't care about your feelings. He is. And then poor Mickey Giannis, or Giannis, I don't know how to say his last name. He is a knuckleballer, which makes me very sad because he is going to be added to MLB The Show. If you use that card, I am going to ban you. I'm going to tell San Diego Studios to, knock your account offline. Just kidding, I will never do that. But either way, I feel bad because he gave up 7 earned runs. The Astros just absolutely decimated the Orioles 13-0, and Jose Urquidy goes 7 shutout innings with 6 strikeouts. I mean, the Astros, they'll beat you on the pitching side, they'll beat you defensively, they'll beat you on the base pass, offensively. Just the Astros are almost a perfect team. Speaking of really good, the San Francisco Giants refused to take their foot off the gas pedal. They win their 3rd game in a row. It was a close game because Shohei Ohtani, with his 11th start of the season, that is now a career high. He goes 6 innings, only allows 1 earned run and has 9 strikeouts, but Kevin Gausman, he was better. 7 innings with the same stat line, 1 earned run on 9 strikeouts, but the pen for the Angels was really good. So they rack up 8 strikeouts in 4 innings, only allowing 2 base hits, but then San Francisco, they take the lead in the 13th, and then Mike Tauchman, who was 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts before he hit this home run. That's the first time in MLB history where a player had 5 strikeouts and a home run in a single game. So DeGrom, he is most known for setting the record, an MLB record of 12 consecutive games allowing 1 earned run or fewer. Kevin Gausman has gone 12 consecutive games of 2 earned runs or fewer. So they're kind of 1A and 1B right now, even though DeGrom is so much better. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the Padres sweeping the Dodgers. The Padres are now on a 7-game winning streak. You have Bauer versus Tatis. I love this clip because it shows the respect. Even though they troll each other and they go back and forth, they have respect. They're both nodding at each other after Tatis strikes out. And then everyone is staying in the Cronin zone. I just want to tell you guys right now that Jake Cronenworth now has 11 home runs, and he has a 3.4 WAR on the season, which is #1 for any National League second baseman. And I don't even think that Jake Cronenworth is top 8 in All-Star voting. So I know maybe you guys are getting sick of the Padres because we always show them, but I love the Padres. I think that they're a lot of fun, and Jake Cronenworth, he deserves to be at the All-Star game. So in my opinion, I would say that Ozzie Albies has been just a little bit better, but Jake Cronenworth, I mean, they're almost tied at this point. I mean, actually, when you look at the stats, I think that Jake has been better than Ozzie. And like I mentioned in the intro, Manny Machado continues to own Trevor Bauer, so both him and Jake Cronenworth, they go back-to-back. And look at this catch from the fan, a one-handed full extension grab. That was easily one of the best catches from a fan that I've ever seen. Tatis, unfortunately, has a throwing error, so he's now up to 17 errors on the year. He is leading everyone in that department, which is not what you want to be leading in. Victor Caratini drives in the 3rd run of the game for the Padres, and Justin Turner, he ties it up on a base hit to the right side, but then the Padres, they score a few more, and then a double play ends it. Manny Machado is just so lightning quick over there at 3rd base. The runner at 2nd almost stood no chance. So again, the Padres, they sweep the Dodgers for the first time in a long time. The Tigers were facing off against the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are not playing very well as of late. Their fans are getting a little bit upset, even though Nolan Arenado has been playing fantastic. He hits home run number 14. Jonathan Scope is playing like Triple Crown Miguel Cabrera as of late. He hits a 2-run double, and then Daz Cameron unties it with a bomb. In the month of June, Jonathan Scope with this home run now has a 372 batting average, 10 home runs, and 22 RBIs. He has been, again, prime Miguel Cabrera only for the month of June. I'm not saying that Jonathan Scope is Miggy. Matt Manning only gives up 2 earned runs in 5 1/3 innings, and then Akil Baddoo drives in a run versus a lefty. He is now on a 10-game hitting streak. He is just so good. So the Tigers come away with a 6-2 victory. Moving on over to the Rangers versus the A's. Jonah Heim, their catcher, drives in an RBI, and then Aroldis Garcia has 19 home runs already. I want to mention Sean Murphy. A lot of people don't talk about this guy, but as a catcher, he might be the most powerful catcher in baseball, not named Salvador Perez. He could be in the home run derby. Every time he hits a ball, it goes 440, 450. Sky Bolt and Matt Chapman, they do some damage, and Matt Chapman is now on an 11-game hitting streak. Then you have Nate Lowe and Brock Holt combining to drive in a few, and then Aroldis Garcia with the cherry on top with home run number 20. He now has 52 RBIs. He is definitely in the lead right now to win Rookie of the Year, but Randy Arozarena, Luis Garcia, and Akil Baddoo, they're staying up with him. The White Sox versus the Pirates. Ooh, this was a fun game because Lurie Garcia, he doesn't really hit home runs, but he had some pop yesterday, and then Tim Anderson on his birthday hits an RBI double. Dylan Cease, he was pretty good. He gives up a few runs, but only one of them was earned because the defense was not very good, and Brian Hayes is now on a 27-game on-base streak. I wanted to go ahead and mention that. Yasmani Grandal with these 2 RBIs, he brings his batting average up to 172, but again, he has a 121 OPS plus, so he has been very good this year. Even though 10 to 20 years ago, people would say he sucks because he has a below 200 batting average. And then you have Liam Hendricks coming in for his 19th save of the year, so the White Sox win 4-3. The Nationals versus the Phillies, the game of the year in my opinion. You have Travis Jankowski hitting a 3-run home run, and then Bryce Harper, this is the craziest stat. With this home run, he now has 10 solo shots. Every single home run that he has hit has been a solo shot, so they have to get some guys on base for him when he leaves the yard. The Nationals score a few more before Kyle Schwarber hits number 19 on the season. I believe he has 10 home runs in his last 16 games or something crazy like that. He ties it up, and then Andrew McCutchen with his pinch hit grand slam ends the game. Just kidding. Trey Turner drives in 2 RBIs, and then Josh Bell answers back with a grand slam of his own, but it wasn't enough as the Phillies come back to take the lead. But even then, that wasn't enough because Hector Neris, of course, he blows it, and then the 34-year-old Paulo Espino, he comes in on the same week that he picked up his first W. He picks up his first save, and the Nationals, they win 13-12. That game was insane. Brandon Woodruff, I do want to say, is one of the better offensive pitchers in baseball. He takes some mean cuts. He drives in an RBI, and then you have Avi Garcia with RBI number 42. He has been very good in that department. Jackie Bradley Jr. makes it 3-0, and Brandon Woodruff took care of business from there, so a lot of people are saying that he was not going to be good. Brandon Woodruff, Corbin Burns, Garrett Cole, Max Scherzer, all of them, yes, they've experienced a drop in spin rate, but they're still going to be nasty. They're just going to be a little bit less dominant every single start where they're giving up 1 earned run on 15 strikeouts every single time. But Brandon Woodruff goes 7 innings, only allows 1 run with 9 strikeouts. Eduardo Escobar, he brings it to within 1. I bring up Eddie because he could be on the trading block, maybe going to the White Sox, maybe going to the Yankees or something like that. And because the Diamondbacks were trying to make a comeback, Josh Hader really had to up the ante. He strikes out 2 in the final inning to get his 19th save. Moving on over to the Rockies versus the Mariners. Has Brendan Rodgers, former top draft pick, has he finally arrived? He hits a 2-run home run, so he now has 4 home runs and 16 RBIs in just 88 at-bats. That is pretty good in my opinion. Trevor Story, he hits a home run, and German Marquez dominated 8 innings, only 1 earned run on 7 strikeouts. He has 1 earned run given up in his last 14 innings pitched. You have Trevor Story hitting his 2nd home run of the game, and then Daniel Bauer with his 10th save of the season. Ramil Tapia, I do have to say it, his 18-game hitting streak was snapped. And then last but not least, the final game from yesterday, the Braves are simply allergic to getting to a 500 record. They just can't seem to get there. Francisco Lindor, he scores on a wild pitch, and then Jeff McNeil drives an RBI, and then Francisco comes in clutch yet again with a 2-run home run. I mean, he has been really good, and then he drives in yet another run later on in the game, and over his last 28 days, he has 6 home runs, 15 RBIs, and an 844 OPS. That'll do it. All right, everyone, well, that does it for today's MLB recap. Thank you all so much for watching. If you made it all the way until the end of today's video, I just want to say I love you guys. Make sure that you all use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off your entire purchase. And without further ado, let's end it with this day in MLB history.
Go 1-strike pitch. Wilkerson bunts the ball. Does it again. Wilkerson with a fly ball to the right field corner. Line shot, base hit to right center field. Good 1-2 pitch. Fly ball by Wilkerson to center field. This ball's carrying well. It is a progressive cycle for Brad Wilkerson as he hits.